both needing a win. Jimmy Sandlin at 6-6. As we take a look at the tail of the tape, Jesse Gross might be looking for one more run.
Yeah, Jesse Gross he's still young, and he has been around and fighting at a high level for a long time. He's a coach now, and a very smart guy. He's a cerebral fighter, but also a gritty, tough fighter, mentally tough. I remember when Mark Hominick was going to fight Jose Aldo. Jesse was one of his primary partners for that experience. Jimmy Sandlin, dangerous guy, been around, experienced, cagey. You're right, this is a big fight. He's a fight, will or a fight.
Jesse Gross began his career on November the 13th of 2009 with a win over Agostino Di Natale. He comes in tonight on back-to-back losses, both in PFC, one in 2019, one in 2022. The last one a unanimous decision loss in October of that year. But before that, Robin, he had scored some wins over some big-time names.
Yeah. Even that first win, Augie Di Natale, people who are in the know how good Augie is out of Winnipeg. Giuseppe Di Natale, his brother once won a K1 heavyweight world title. Jesse's fought some tough guys, and he's in against another one here in Sandlin.
For Jimmy Sandlin, all of his fights, all 12 professionally, coming since January of 2020. He comes in on back-to-back decision losses. But, Robin, he's been one of the busiest fighters anywhere with 12 fights in 3 years.
Yeah, and he'll fight anybody, anywhere, including Jesse Gross in Toronto.
He's actually got another one lined up to Sandlin for 2 weeks from now. And
in the red corner, Jesse Gross.
Jesse Gross is going to try to make sure that Sandlin doesn't make it to that fight in 2 weeks south of the border. This is an old-school, tough as nails kind of fighter.
Yeah, and Jesse came up. I told you he was fighting, training with Mark Hominick when Hominick was fighting in front of 126,000 or I don't know. UFC 126, it was 60,000 or something. So he came up under Sean Tompkins originally, but has really traveled and learned a ton. And he's only, I think, 35. And you mentioned he's been fighting for quite a while already. So he's a smart fighter and a gritty, tough fighter.
Jesse went into somewhat of a pseudo-retirement in 2015. After he beat Justin James by a split decision, he sort of walked away from the sport for a little while. He returned in 2019, global pandemic, returned again in 2022, and looks as focused as I've ever seen him. And you and I have both known Jesse Gross a long time.
Yeah, and focused is highly accurate. You know, focused on the task, focused on the path, focused on the present, focused right now. Yeah, you're right. And he likes it, you know. He's where he should be right now, in a cage, fighting another man.
15 years of MMA training for this moment for Jesse Gross. Can he get back into the winning column, or does Jimmy Sandlin spoil what is shaping up to be a return run for the Ghost?
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is brought to you by Ghost Drops. It is a professional fight in the lightweight division contested over 3 5-minute rounds, and the man in charge of the action when it starts inside the cage is Mr. Ivan Slack. And now first, introducing in the blue corner, fighting out of Carlisle, Ohio, representing Queen City Grappling Club. He stands 5'9". He weighed in at 155.6 pounds, has a professional record of 6 wins, 6 losses, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout and 2 by submission. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jimmy Sandstorm Sandlin. And his opponent fighting out of Sarnia, Ontario, representing Ghost House MMA and Fitness. He stands 5'7". He weighed in at 154.6 pounds, has a professional record of 10 wins, 6 losses with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jesse, the Ghost Gross.
Of course, this fight is sponsored by Ghost Drops. It has to be.
It's just too perfect, is it not?
Ghost House, Jesse the Ghost Gross.
A lot of ghosts.
A lot of ghosts.
Jesse's going to try to shake the ghosts of his last 2 losses here against Jimmy Sandlin. Sandlin in the camo, Gross in the black trimmed with red. By the way, Sandlin's nickname Sandstorm came to him in a dream. So these are the fighters we're dealing with here to start the Big Five.
I mean, it's not a crazy out of left field dream.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
As Sandlin takes the center of the cage, Gross fires over the top of the right hand, tries the uppercut.
Sandlin's pretty relaxed, and that's something you might expect from a guy who's had 12 fights in 3 months.
The question is always for Jesse Gross, what weight class does he want? This is at lightweight, so Gross gives up a little bit of height, but his build, he's built like a fire hydrant.
Yeah. Wide back, dense musculature. But Sandstorm is, he's a big, strong lightweight too. Yeah, Jesse's done well at 145 in his life too, but he's cutting a lot of weight. And he's older now, harder to do. There's a left hook from Sandstorm Sandlin.
Gross has used a double jab already a couple of times.
Sometimes people use that as a way to get in deeper.
A lot of speed early on in this fight. Both fighters look really fresh.
Yeah, I like how relaxed Sandlin is. A lot of times with Muay Thai fighters, like in Thailand, where they'll fight 11, 12, 15, 20 times a year, you just don't feel the pressure as much. It's all much more comfort. You find much more comfort in these moments.
Sandlin does look pretty comfortable
He
to
does.
open this one. Right hand there by Gross. And Gross follows with the left jab. Sandlin steps right back in. Every time Gross puts a combination together, Sandlin steps right back to the pocket, Robin.
Yeah, Jesse tries a little shovel overhand.
Chops to the outside.
Jesse has thrown combinations where there's 3 and 4 as he's moving forward. He hasn't landed them clean yet, but you start to gather more information when you do that. And you get away with it. You're not getting hit yourself. There's 2.
It's that right hand on the end. Gross carries a ton of power in that.
Yeah, and sometimes it is the 3rd or the 4th punch that you're trying to set up. And you build a little bit of pendulum momentum as you go through. Left hook. I literally was just about to say, he's trying to line up the left hook.
Sandlin caught him with the left and then the right, and this fight is called off.
No, Jesse is not pleased about that. He was buzzed for a moment from the left hook, and you could see Sandlin was gauging the left hook, trying to line him up with the left hook. But yeah, he was not out. He could protect himself. Reffing is a hard job. You have to make the call. Look, he was getting up, but you have to make the call in the moment. It's easy to say from here. Watch, the left hook, big. So, yeah, and he had his hands outstretched. I mean, it's not a crazy call with the information the ref has.
Yeah, Ivan Speck was being protested by Jesse Gross after the left.
Watch the left hook. Big. Yeah, there. When he got up sort of with his hands outstretched a little bit. So the appearance was maybe that he wasn't fully connected to the moment, but I believe in retrospect that he was. But the information that the ref had at the moment to make that call when he made it is the call he felt he had to make.
It's a tough spot to be in for referee Ivan Speck. Jesse Gross took that left hook and then a right on the end as well that rocked him. And we'll go into Keith Crawford with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ivan Speck steps in at 2:14 of the first round, stops this fight for your winner by TKO in the blue corner, Jimmy Sandstorm Sandlin.
Thanks for that fight, guys. Jesse is not pleased because he was able to get back up, but the ref just has to make the call he has to make in the moment. Jimmy Sandlin. Jimmy, it did look like you were lining up, sort of developing the timing on that left hook as he kept coming in. Was that something you were playing with landing on him?
Honestly, no, not with the left hook. I felt one hit pretty clean, so I figured it was going to be there a couple other times. I was really just trying to go 1-2, and then maybe time a clinch exchange, and then battle in the cage.
It's really quiet in here right now because you just beat the hometown guy. But you take a lot of pride in this moment. You're not the referee. You landed the key punch at the key time. I hear you have another fight in 2 weeks.
That's right. So I'm staying busy. I'm kind of like Jesse. We're coming off a couple decision losses that should have gone my way and his way. So it was going to be a dogfight for this fight. I knew he was going to be tough as hell. And I was going to have to put him away or lose a decision because he's a dog. But I want to stay busy. I want to fix my record and keep climbing up in the ranks and just keep getting big wins like this.
I can't speak for them, but I know Jesse would probably love to fight you again, and we'd love to have you back. Congratulations on a clean win, Jimmy Sandlin.
Jimmy Sandlin, it might not have been the way he wanted to finish, but he gets the finish, and it's a big moment. Sandlin runs his record to 7-6 over 8